So I understand what companies looking for capital like RC Fornax should try and get. And I understand what institutional investors and indeed retail investors want from their investments. So I think I do feel it's very much both areas, which are very important to be the chairman, I'm very familiar with.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by RC Fornax Non-Executive Chair, David Hitchcock. David, congratulations on your new appointment. You've been on the board since the IPO, and now you're stepping up to chair. What do you think you uniquely bring to RC Fornax at this stage of its development?
RC Fornax is at a really interesting stage. Company's very excited about its prospects. It's obviously a year ago became a public company and has worked very, very hard to adjust to the new status as well as taking steps for the future. I'm of a certain age. I've worked in the equity market since 1992, and I was head of institutional client management at JP Morgan. My practice was amongst asset managers and hedge funds, and I think the board felt that they wanted to develop a more institutional franchise and really build on the very solid foundations that my predecessor Mark Fahy left.
David, your background, as you said, spans capital markets, governance, also frontline defense experience. How does that blend help RC Fornax navigate growth as a listed defense consultancy?
Well, it's the story of my life, actually, in the sense that I was a soldier till I was 29. I was in the Gurkhas all over the world. And I still have massive links into the armed forces. Lots of my friends are very senior, well, actually retired, most of them now, but very heavily involved in the defense establishment, in the prime contractors. I've still got one or two friends left at the very top of the army. So I've got a strong defense link. We are essentially a defense consultancy, as you know. And then since 92, I started at Goldman Sachs for 4 years, then moved to JP Morgan to be head of equity sales. I've done hundreds of IPOs, and my business was essentially all about bringing buy side and sell side together. So I understand what companies looking for capital like RC Fornax should try and get, and I understand what institutional investors and indeed retail investors want from their investments. So I think I do feel it's very much both areas, which are very important to be the chairman, I'm very familiar with.
So there have been other changes to the board as well. Andrew McInerney, or Mac as he's known to the team, joins with deep military, government and growth company experience. What gaps does he fill and how does he strengthen the board's strategic oversight?
Well, Mac's a serious soldier. He was a commando in special forces, multiple tours of Afghanistan. So he's got the full military knowledge, very, very experienced in the defense sector. And since he's left the Marines, he's chaired growth companies. He's been at the business side much less than I have, but he has that same very similar background to me in terms of coming from a strong defense background to a business background. And we're very much looking forward to having him on board.
Chris Brooks moves onto the board from his role as managing director and head of engineering. Why was it important to bring operational leadership directly into the boardroom now?
I think I'm a huge believer in always having some operational leadership in the boardroom, keep everybody very up to date on what's going on, keep us all honest. Chris is an exceptional guy. He's a real tower of strength around here, and he's got a record of basically lifting up engineering consultancy businesses, which is exactly what we need at this point. So we're very pleased to get him and Mac. I really am.
With this refreshed board in place, what does success look like for RC Fornax over the next 12 to 18 months as defense requirements continue to evolve?
Well, defense's time in the sun has come, as you know. We're living sadly in a very unstable world, and rightly our country and many other countries are looking to radically increase the amount of money they're spending on defending their citizens. So I want to make sure we're very much going to get our share of good work. We are very innovative. We have started to develop very good links with our shareholders, very supportive shareholders. We are in lots of discussions with our customers as to what they want from us in the modern environment. We're very innovative, and I think the board is really very strong now. I think the board is a nice balance of operations with Paul and Chris. You got defense with Mac and myself, and also the city, the financial markets with myself, and obviously Mac's experience as a growth manager. So success we want to push the shit. We want to develop our business financially. Obviously, I think our shares success. Our shares would be obviously much higher. We will be looking at lots of opportunities, and a good share price will enable us to take those opportunities.
David, congratulations again. I hope this is the first of many conversations. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
David Hitchcock, the non-executive chair of RC Fornax.